Alright guys, what's up? It's Sonic Soul. I just wanted to make another video. This time I wanted to talk about Faultless Defense. This is something that I kind of see a little bit of people talk about, but I kind of wanted to do this for like newcomers because I've been struggling on defense, and I think it would help me out, especially as an Eno player, where I only really have super to really get people off of me. So I thought that I would try to share as much knowledge about Faultless Defense as possible, so that way you too can use it in situations, and you can apply what I'm doing and what I'll show you to any kind of block string. So I'll teach you what Faultless Defense is now. Faultless Defense, you do it whenever you have tension, right? The meter's set to infinite tension, obviously, but it'll drain your tension gauge as you hold it down. You perform it by doing basically down back or up back and 2 attack buttons that are not dust, because if you press dust and attack button you get burst. So Faultless Defense is basically like this game's way of basically pushing the opponent away from you in very tight block strings, and it also prevents chip kill scenarios. So like, if I were to have my health be at a low value, so see how I died by chip right there? I won't die by chip here. If I use Faultless Defense, I will not die by chip. There's chip kill in this game, but if you use Faultless Defense, you can avoid chip kill entirely. If I didn't use it, like you saw before, I would die. So you have to be careful, keep in mind about your resources. So yeah, FD will save you from chip kill in this game. That's the first thing, right? The next thing I wanted to talk about with FD is that, as you saw, it will push back normals, but it will not push back projectiles. So if I had Soul do his standing heavy slash, and then I'll have him do gun flame, you'll see, right? That's the regular pushback, right? If I'm up close like this, that's the regular pushback. But if I do FD, he's gonna get pushed back further. See that? Very, very noticeable. So that is the strength of FD. But you have to keep in mind that you don't want to FD everything. As much as it is a good tool on defense, you should use it to get the opponent away from you, and you should use it in block strings that the opponent is like oppressing you in. If I have Soul do this block string, it's actually a very common block string. You'll see people like Deb, a lot of people do this with the stagger. This all will hit normally, right? Like, as not a combo, but a block string, right? So that's an entire block string he could do. The thing about it is he could stagger this, right? You can push him back with FD, so the string doesn't connect all the way. See that? You see how the standing heavy slash whiff there? But you saw earlier that the last time I push block, the standing heavy slash didn't whiff, right? You have to be careful because it can actually make the opponent more plus when they FD, because you get put in more block stun. So it's about knowing what to FD. Now, I'll explain this further, but I want to go back to that string that he's doing. Let's say he does this entire string. You know, as you fight Soul, you try to jump out of that gun flame, you're going to get smacked by it normally, right? But that's why you have to know what to push block, right? Here, I would push block the forward S that he does, the 6S after the 2K. The reason why is because he won't be in a lot of plus frames, and I will be able to jump out when I correctly FD the forward slash. And then I get a punish, and I'll get meaty stroke. I could get meaty stroke, I could go back to neutral, things like that. So that's why it's important to know what you should exactly FD against the opponent, so that way you can take your advantage back. Going back to being plus, if the character does a move that's usually plus on block, for example, Soul's infamous far slash that everyone memes about, if I were to have Soul do this, right, the far slash, this is a common block string that people could do with Soul. They'll do close slash, far slash, into crouching slash, right? So what I will do, you can mash out of this if you block it normally. See that? I can mash so that way he doesn't do 2S, right? I can normally mash. See that? But if I decide to FD that same string where he does close slash, far slash into crouching slash. Like if I decide to push block this string, guess what happens? I can get, he's more plus. So I'll actually get counter hit every time. Every time. You don't want to FD Souls far S. The reason why is because he'll be more plus. There we go. He'll be more plus and he'll stuff out your normal. Even with the heart coming out, it stuffed out my jab. Like, it completely stuffs it out. It doesn't matter how hard you mash, you're gonna get hit. So that's what you have to really consider, right? Like, what normals are you allowed to push block and what normals are you not allowed to push block. I'm gonna show you some other examples. You see, like, the point is that it's hard to punish, right? It's hard to punish. You're not gonna get it like every time. If you have RC, you can get a conversion from this. But if you don't have enough meter for RC, you're not gonna get a meaningful punish every time. There's a lot of block stop on this move, so it's hard to punish, right? And he'll primarily use this move to kind of like keep you locked down in that spacing to where all of his other buttons kind of work. But if you FD this, he gets pushed back much further, right? To where all of his normals whiff. It's a very different like change. You can see for yourself. He's here, but then like you push block him there, he's like all the way past that like carpet that you see on the ground. So it's like that's what you have to really like look at when you're FDing. Sometimes, even though you can punish a move, it might be difficult to punish because of the fact that it's dependent on spacing and range. So sometimes you want to fight for that space back, right? So that's why you would use FD in this scenario. So that way you push Kai back, so a lot of his normals that would usually reach don't reach, and you can kind of fight him in the mid-range, right? One more example that I could show you. Another example is with Ram, right? So Ram can do like a very dirty mix-up on you, right? Where she will do like this entire string that you see in front of you. She will do this with RC to force a high-low mix-up. You see how it jails me? If she does the 2K immediately, it jails me so I can't escape and she'll get another combo, right? So you're trying to wonder how to get out of this, right? Because this is literally like the Ram pressure that is annoying. So what you do is, after the RC, you FD. After the RC that she does, the red RC, you push block that. You push block the close slash that she does again. So she's not close to you to do the mix up. And then you can super jump out. See that? You can super jump out and get yourself out the corner or potentially punish her properly. But you see, you get out the corner. So these are the type of things that you have to lab. You have to figure out what strings people are doing to you, so that way you're able to push them away from you at the most opportune time so you can get out of these situations. Because that's literally what Guilty Gear, I think, is when you're playing the defensive game. Yeah, you could YRC, but if you don't have 50 tension, you're going to have to learn how to FD the particular block strings that's fucking you up. So that's another example against Ramlethal. Now the final thing that I want to talk about here is instant block FD. I'm not going to go too much in detail with it, but I'm going to basically tell you why it's important to know this. Faultless Defense instant block has way more pushback as opposed to regular Faultless Defense. It's also extremely hard to do. It is only a 2-frame window. If you want an example, it's literally like doing red parry in Third Strike, where you do a parry immediately out of block stun. There's only a 2-frame window, so it's extremely hard to do. But it's not like you shouldn't go for it, because you're gonna be, if you're in a defensive situation, you're gonna try to block anyway. So you have to block the move and FD it at the time that the move would hit, at the exact moment where it hits. So I'm gonna try to do it here. There we go. So that is Faultless Defense instant block. You can see that for yourself. Look at that distance. Now look at the regular FD. Much less. There's pushback, but much less pushback. Much less pushback than the Faultless Defense IB. Now, the reason why I'm using Mei as the example is because with Faultless Defense IB, right, there are usually going to be times where she's going to do like the heavy slash dolphin, and she's going to be +5. And you don't want her near you when she does heavy slash dolphin, right? You can try to anti-air her. You can try to anti-air her out of the move using 5K. You can check out my previous Eno guide where I talked about countering Soul and Mei and that. But she could be doing things like this, where she'll do 5 HS into the heavy slash dolphin. Now, the thing about this is you can react to this and do 6P. Psych, you can't. That's the thing. A lot of Mei players will tell you that you could 6P this, right? They will tell you that you could 6P this. You can't. I do 5K here, and even then we trade. Because Mei, she's so close to you, a lot of your buttons don't work. So you're forced to do things like jab to get out, right? It's actually insane. And if she's doing the slash version, you're not reacting to that. So the only thing you can do in this situation, because you don't want her to be +5 and take her turn, is you have to instant block Faultless Defense to push her away so you can get out the corner. It's very cheap that you have to basically do this to get her off of you, but it's literally one of the only options that you have. There we go. You literally have to do that. You have to do that against her because a lot of her normals will whiff at this range. Maybe just the close slash, but even then she can't really like do anything. She can't really do much because if she does the slash dolphin, she'll be -5. You take your turn, right? Things like that. So you have to do IB faultless defense against a character like this because that's literally all you can do. Like, you can try to preemptively check with buttons, but when she's up close on you like that, and she's going to stuff out your jab with slash dolphin, that's the only thing you can do against a character like this. So that is where Faultless Defense instant block is important. So, like I said, it's a 2-frame window. I don't expect people to do this all the time, but against heavy slash dolphin, it's more feasible because you can see it. That's pretty much it. That's everything that I have to talk about regarding Faultless Defense. Please use this. I was getting tilted fighting people beforehand, and I'm trying to incorporate Faultless Defense into my game plan so I could learn how to stop people when I'm blocking their shit. So yeah, definitely leave a follow, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next video. Take care. Peace.